Okay, all right, guys, we've had to get an iPad, but we're ready to start again. Let's look up here. We said in the second paragraph, we're going to see emerged. Now, if I don't know that word, what can I do to help me understand it? Yes, sir. We can look for context clues. So let's look in the first sentence before this, in the first sentence of this paragraph, I can read that the three servants pulled the big bag alongside them as they swam back through the cool and swirling sea. Who is that sentence about?
Servants.
It's about the servants, and what are they doing?
Swim at night.
When are they doing it? Okay, so we said it is about three servants. I can't write on this it's three servants, and they pulled a bag beside them as they swam. I see that this is past tense. I know it's already happened. So three servants are swimming, pulling bags. Now I can go a little bit further, and I can read in the next sentence, finally they emerged into the bright sunlight of the shore and followed the path home. Who is this sentence about now? It's still about the servants. Now, what were they doing? They were swimming. What are they doing in this sentence? Listen, finally they emerged into the bright sunlight of the shore and followed the path home. How do you follow a path? By walking. So they were swimming, and now they're walking along the path home. So what has had to happen to go from swimming and pulling something under the water to walking beside the path, Latia? If I'm swimming in a swimming pool and then all of a sudden I'm walking beside the pool, what had to happen, Christian? I had to emerge, or I had to come up out of the water. So we can, if we think about what has happened and what is happening, we can put those things together and help us understand that the servants had to come out of the water to be able to walk along the path, which helps me understand that to emerge must mean to come out. All right, we're going to work. This is 206 in your Reader and Writer workbook, and it is about unfamiliar words. That's what we've just talked about using those context clues to help us. We're going to come back to that in a second, but right now we're going to get through a little bit more of this. All right, we use RADS, restate, answer, give details, and details, and then sum it up. Your question on your study, on your newsletter this week is a restate and give a detail, but just about your personal experience. But when we restate, we answer in a complete sentence. So if we wanted to write, how could you describe the journey of the servants? Now, if that's our question, how are we going to start our writing? We're going to start our writing by what? Restate, which means to answer in a complete sentence. So whose opinion is this asking? It's asking about mine. So I could start my writing with, I would
describe.
Or I could start by just simply saying, first of all, how would you describe your journey? Let's make some notes. Anybody got a word that they can use to help me understand or describe the journey of the servants? Yes, ma'am. Ooh. Why do you think it might be dangerous? Ma'am?
It might be crooked.
Okay, where does it say that?
They have to go deep in the ocean.
Okay, deep in the ocean. We know that they were swimming.
And they have to grab the darkness, so there's animals in it. How do you know they ain't gonna escape?
Ooh. Okay, so these would be details that we could use to support. This can be our answer. These can be three of our details, and then we could sum it up. So we can restate this and say, I think the servant's journey would be dangerous. And then these would be our 3 details. We're going to come back and I'm going to let you write this in a little bit, but just a quick, let's see. This is about visualization. So close your eyes and listen to this sentence. He laid the bag on the ground and opened its sealing wax with his teeth. Now, what did you imagine in your head as you heard that, Hudson? Yeah, have you ever used your teeth to open a bag? You haven't? Sometimes, if we've got a chip bag, those are easy to pull apart. But sometimes, especially if we had something in our hands, we might have to use our teeth to kind of help. Sometimes ketchup packets, we have to kind of get started with our teeth or with our fingers. So we can use our background experience to help us understand that. Let's see. We already know this. Visualizing a story can help you monitor or adjust your understanding if something doesn't make sense. Hey, let's go back and open our eyes now. Now, listen to this page. He laid the bag on the ground and opened its sealing wax with his teeth. Out rushed the night beasts, the night birds, and the night insects. Out jumped the stars and the moon. The servants ran terrified into the jungle. What word does the author repeat on this page, Dalton? No, repeat means to reuse. So say him, what word does he repeat? Night. Now, why do you think the author might have chosen to say night beasts, night birds, night insects, Sam? Because is night important to this story too? Yeah, we know these are all things of the night, but I think it helps us understand the importance of night to this story. All right, grammar. This week we're talking about subject-verb agreement. Now listen to these sentences. Maya plays outside with Lynn. They play catch. Who is the first sentence about?
Maya.
It's about Maya. How many people is that? One. But the subject of this sentence, yes, Maya plays with Lynn, but the subject is about Maya, one person. So, I got my, and what does she do? She plays. Remember that we said yesterday, if a sentence is about one person, then you're going to add an S or ES to the verb. So Maya plays, Dalton sits, Audra smiles. One person, we're going to add an S or ES to the verb. Notice that the present tense verb changes to play when the subject is plural. So now that we've got they, Maya and Lynn, we don't have to add that S. So if the subject is singular, then we add S or ES. If the subject is plural, we're not gonna put S on our verb. We're gonna work this worksheet. This one it tells us the same thing that we already read. The subject and verb and sentence work together. Another word that means together is agree. A lot of times we'll have this clue, this comma, when we read, we might it might say, be written the opposite way. It might say the subject and the verb in this sentence must always agree, comma, or work together. A lot of times we will have something that just gives us a definition or a better understanding, followed by a comma in our reading. But to make most present tense verbs agree with each other, singular nouns or he, she, or it, add S or ES. If it is a plural, then we're not going to add S or ES. So we will come back and work that real quick. Our spelling skill for this week is the sound you make when you shout, or when somebody pinches you, you say ow. We can spell ow. Guys, I know we've been sitting still for a really long time, but come on. How can we spell ow? 2 vowel combinations. O-U or O-W. So today we're going to work on spelling words with these vowel pairs, and this is on page 204 in our Reader and Writer workbook. think we can stop here. That wraps up our day, and we're gonna go back and actually work some of these. So right now, let's get out.